Assalamu alaikum. Today's statement is titled, Saturday, the 7th of October, is still a day of incessant misfortune with the command of Allah, the One, the Overpowering. This statement was written by the awaited Imam Mahdi Nasr Muhammad al-Yamani on the 28th of October 2023, and it will be recited to you by one of his supporters. In the name of Allah, the One, the Overpowering, and prayers of forgiveness and peace be upon Muhammad, the Messenger of Allah, who was chosen to deliver the Great Quran, Allah's message to mankind and jinn. The 7th of October is still a day of incessant misfortune and continuous victories by the command of Allah, the One, the Overpowering. O army of believers for the liberation of Palestine, do not think that you're fighting alone, but I do not want to explain lest you turn away from the truth. And know that victory is from Allah, and be certain that if Allah helps you, none can defeat you even if all armies of human devils combine all their forces, because Allah is with you, the best helper and supporter. So do not falter and cry out for peace while you're superior, and remember the word of Allah the Exalted.
الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله أضل أعمالهم والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وآمنوا بما نزل على محمد وهو الحق من ربهم كفر عنهم سيئاتهم وأصلح بالهم ذلك بأن الذين كفروا اتبعوا الباطل وأن الذين آمنوا اتبعوا الحق من ربهم كذلك يضرب الله للناس أمثالهم فإذا لقيتم الذين كفروا فضرب الرقاب حتى إذا أثخنتموهم فشدوا الوثاق فإما منا بعد وإما فداء حتى تضع الحرب أوزارها ذلك ولو يشاء الله لانتصر منهم ولكن ليبلو بعضكم ببعض والذين قتلوا في سبيل الله فلن يضل أعمالهم سيهديهم ويصلح بالهم ويدخلهم الجنة عرفها لهم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم والذين كفروا فتعسا لهم وأضل أعمالهم ذلك بأنهم كرهوا ما أنزل الله فأحبط أعمالهم أفلم يسيروا في الأرض فينظروا كيف كان عاقبة الذين من قبلهم دمر الله عليهم وللكافرين أمثالها ذلك بأن الله مولى الذين آمنوا وأن الكافرين لا مولى لهم صدق الله العظيم.
Surah Muhammad, chapter 47, verses 1 to 11. So do not falter and cry out for peace while you are superior. This is the promise of Allah, and He never breaks His promises. You shall see of the wonders of the help of Allah what you or your enemy did not anticipate. Indeed, Allah is capable of everything. Allah will defeat them soon, then they will turn and flee as long as you're adhering to the commands of Allah's Caliph, Imam Mahdi Nasr Muhammad al-Yamani. I promised you after less than 24 hours from the beginning of the war that you will be victorious and vanquisher with Allah's permission. Allah and His Caliph will not break their promises as long as you are sticking to what we commanded you. So do not call for peace with the allies of Satan while they are still insisting on their aggression and occupation of your land. Beware lest they deceive you. They have always broken their promises and oaths. No covenant for them with Allah and His Caliph, and I mean the killers of the weak children and women in Palestine. Martyrs are happy, and the torn body parts are for testing your faith, and that of whoever is still alive from the Muslim leaders, their armies and peoples. The affliction of the Zionist crimes against the unarmed weak citizens in Gaza is to test the conscience of every human among Arab and non-Arabs. Zionists do not dare face the resistance men of the army of believers for the liberation of Palestine. That is why they kill the weak and helpless unarmed citizens of honorable Gaza. They kill children, women, and powerless men who did not fight them in the first place and were sitting at their homes, but unfortunately, this did not prevent the Zionist human devils from killing them. Such are the true colors of human devils. They are naturally wicked, so they kill babies on purpose and aggression. Without question, the Zionists in Palestine and their supporters around the world are the corruption-spreading terrorists. Who dares say Hamas and men of the resistance to liberate Palestine are terrorists? Whoever dares to call them terrorists has earned the wrath of Allah, the angels, and all people. How he who defends his land and sanctities of Allah be a terrorist? Far is that from being the truth. O the wicked Zionists, indeed you are the terrorist ISIS, and you are the traitors. Here you are killing children and women in aggression and injustice, so that Allah proves to the world that you are the creators of ISIS, and that you're not only the terrorists, but the origin of terrorism around the world, along with all the enemies of humanity of your likes, and from their hearts, Allah removed the noble and beautiful human qualities. He made their hearts harder than stones. They do not have mercy on children, women, old people, or the powerless. You think your force is invincible, but I, Allah's Caliph al-Mahdi Nasr Muhammad al-Yamani, promise you, with the permission of Allah, that you are invincible and defeated, and the soldiers of Allah around Al-Aqsa, the defenders of His sanctities, are victorious, because their Allah is Allah, the best helper and supporter. On the other hand, you have no helper, and your supporter, the devil, is like the spider that has made a house, while indeed the weakest of houses is the house of the spider. I firmly swear by Allah the Great that America, Britain, Germany, France, and all of the enemies of humanity cannot help you, and I am sure of what I'm saying. All evildoers will certainly know that all power belongs to Allah, no matter how powerful they think they are. Stick to my commands to you in the statement I issued within 24 hours since the outbreak of the war on Saturday, the 7th of October, and hold firmly to every single point in it, and you will witness the wonders of the victory of Allah with that which you and the transgressing Zionists did not take into account. So believe the promise of Allah in the clear verses of His book, the Great Quran.
ولو قاتلكم الذين كفروا لولوا الأدبار ثم لا يجدون وليا ولا نصيرا صدق الله العظيم.
Surah Al-Fath, chapter 48, verse 22. So fulfill the covenant of Allah, and He will fulfill your covenant, and adhere to the word of piousness. No God but Allah alone, no partners with Him. And stick to all that I have enjoined upon you in public and in private, and adhere to what I have enjoined upon you concerning the good treatment of the peaceful Jews. However, find the aggressors among them, the companions of the sept, who fight you from among them. Indeed, the promise of Allah will be fulfilled. I command you to be good to your truthful humanitarian supporters in Arabs and non-Arabs, even if they are disbelievers. You have to be kind and just to them. Surely Allah loves those who act justly. And Allah has not cursed the disbelievers among the advocates of humanity, but He has cursed the enemies of humanity among the non-Arabs and Arabs. So hold fast to the commands of Allah's Caliph al-Mahdi Nasr Muhammad al-Yamani, so that Allah makes you a good example before the world. O army of believers for the liberation of Palestine, be thankful and continue your jihad for the sake of liberating your land from those who have achieved the greatest corruption in the blessed land of Palestine. Hold firmly to the word of piousness in victory or martyrdom, and wish for victory. It is better for you than martyrdom. And know that I, Allah's Caliph al-Mahdi Nasr Muhammad al-Yamani, will be empowered by Allah against all mankind with Saqar, the planet of torment. He is the best helper and protector. Let the world wait for the temperature of Saqar's summer to reach 151 degrees next winter, and evildoers will know that
وما ظلمهم الله ولكن كانوا أنفسهم يظلمون صدق الله العظيم.
Surah An-Nahl, verse 33. Peace be upon the messengers, and all praises due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Your brother, Allah's Caliph, Imam Mahdi Nasr Muhammad al-Yamani.